I want to start off right off the bat with a question that, especially because you've had such a long day, do you ever feel like you're doing too much?
I don't necessarily think that well, yeah, actually, yeah. What's interesting is, being transparent and honest is like I have a lot of freedom, but also have taken on lots of different responsibilities and projects. So I still struggle with the balance of that.
So like if you're on Harmon Brothers, what's your CTA to get them into your ecosystem?
My goal is to help 1 billion people in the next 20 years or impact their lives. You have to be able to amplify that. I really kind of think of it as like a movement that I'm trying to create, this movement towards positivity, which sounds really cheesy, right? But it is this movement towards casting away your limitations and society's bullshit and this negativity and all this crap that's clouding your mind and just going towards winning and achieving and succeeding.
It's clear to me that you're just trying to help people in teaching and like holding nothing back. I just think it's fantastic. I think it's not enough of that anymore in the business.
It's not just being that voice, but it's also that consistent voice. If I'm not consistent, if I disappear, where do they drift to, right? Where do they go instead? I need to still continue to be there.
We had been in Vegas right before COVID at the mastermind, and we've been hustling and grinding and learning and masterminding for 2 or 3 days straight. And the very last day, his baby daughter came in.
Eden! Oh my God. Eden, can I have a hug? Hi!
And I looked over, and Stefan was bawling, and he was crying like a little baby. My heart melted, and I realized that is a good man, because he had no shame around feeling the joy that was just flowing from the core of his being. And Stefan, I appreciate you, honor you, and I present the mic to you so you can just take it away.
Comfort was always a huge motivator for me. Having money, and it frees me to then create content and teach and share and also be a great father and not stress. I can just be present with my daughter because I'm not worried about I'm gonna be able to pay the mortgage or pay the rent or pay for food or pay for any, it's like I can just be much more present and then I can be more impactful.
I do remember Stefan taking me out on our very first official date to Delmonico's steakhouse. He asked me, he was like, if you don't mind me asking, about how much money do you make as a month, doing this copywriting thing? And I was like, well, anywhere between $4,000 and $10,000, kind of depending on the month. And he was like, wow, huh? He was like, that's so amazing. And I was like, yeah, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
For me, realizing that, having a corporate job in 2012, meeting, my now wife, Laura, and her kind of being a freelancer, so the first freelancer I really ever met. It really changed my life forever.
Should I start with the
unicorn?
So
I'd like to do a kind of serious one, but I know you love unicorn. I think it's going to take away all the fun.
No, it's fine. Just just kill all my joy. He doesn't want me to hold this unicorn. He thinks that I need to be very serious in order for you to buy the thing that we're selling. But I think that you'll understand that we are unique, just like this unicorn. My name's Ian Stanley. This is Stefan Georgi. He's sold over $700 million worth of products online with his copywriting. I've sold a mere $100 million worth of products online through email and videos just like this one shot on a simple iPhone. A lot of the money that we've made for ourselves has actually been through freelancing and by getting clients to pay us a rather ridiculous sum of money to help them make even more ridiculous sums of money.
The status quo is everything's screwed up and awful, and it doesn't have to be awful. And as people do lose their jobs because of COVID or they're furloughed and furloughed turns into unemployed or laid off, there's just a opportunity there for them to then, it can be a blessing for a lot of people.
Freelancing is by far the best way for anyone to make their first money on their own. You don't need products to sell. You don't need to go anywhere. You can do it from home. You get paid upfront.
If they knew other ways and other options and other things, then I think we have an opportunity to really come out of this with a lot of people in a lot better of a place than when they came in. You have considered a freelancing career for something that you've been eyeing, maybe you've dabbled in, maybe you do it full time right now, but you really want to take it to the next level. We've created a pretty nice blueprint for how you can go from 0 clients, $0 as a freelancer to somebody who's routinely bringing in $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. In 2012, when I started doing sales letters, I charged $149, and going to $297 was really scary. $497 was terrifying. But today I charge $50,000 or more for the exact same thing. So of course that comes with experience and a track record and talent. It's not that you should just come out charging $50,000. The funny thing is, anybody out there who wants to freelance will get hired for something. But almost everybody kind of doesn't believe that that will happen or that anybody's gonna hire them until it actually happens. Until then, they don't fully believe that they can actually make money being a freelancer. But you have to believe, and the more you can believe that, the faster you're probably gonna get opportunities. I thought mindset was bullshit until about a year ago, actually, maybe a year and a half ago. But then I think realizing, like, looking at people, and I just saw so many people in my world that were smart people and capable people who weren't having levels of success that they had the potential to have. And I realized that the reason why was because they were getting in their own way. They were creating mental blocks for themselves. They didn't believe that they actually deserved these things. They didn't believe that they could do these things, and it was all mental. And then I looked at some of the success I had, and I realized that it's because I did believe. And that sounds really simple and like, reductionist or simplistic or whatever, but that's really a huge part of it. The only thing that limits us a lot of time in our leaps, especially for freelancers, copywriters, marketers, entrepreneurs, if we're doing things on our own, like, there's not an artificial constraint like there is in like a traditional job. A lot of it is us. Like, we have to be good at our skill, we have to be good at what we do, but then we just also have to like actually believe that's possible, know it's possible. And if you realize all that, you're like, well, instead of just going from this level to this level, why don't I just go right to here, right? And then from here, why don't I just go? So you start kind of leapfrogging. Instead of just doing baby steps, you leapfrog. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do now, and I think I've been doing it. But I still think I probably think too small.
I think he taught me a lot about how to leverage your skills as a writer into something bigger, and how to leverage the experience you end up getting just by being in the world for so long, this internet marketing world. That was a huge inspiration for me behind Eden Beauty. I'll never forget, we're driving in his like red Toyota truck, and he says his idea for the supplement company. He was like, what if, it was supplements that use biblical ingredients? And I was like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. And that was it. And he, dove in and had hard times and then really good times. So he was the one who pushed me, by seeing him do it. And that's what it takes, like somebody breaks the 1-minute mile and then all of a sudden thousands of other people do it.
But if you want to talk about how do we change the world, we can be like busy doing hashtag activism and ranting on Facebook and putting long ass posts complaining about things and whatever. It's like, or we can just go out and fucking change the world. I just don't give a fuck about all the other shit you can say about me. It's like, I'm making an impact on these people's lives, and then they're making an impact on more people's lives. They're making an impact on their families' lives. It's just this amplified effect that can last for generations. And the larger the scale I can do that on, the more of those people I can help more generations. And that's how we can make the world actually a better place, instead of like, making empty political promises or, again, writing a bunch of like think pieces on a blog or something.